Matt will join us later on the stage. Trust me. And we'll get an astrobatic triple in. I think you know what's going to happen. And you do. But first, Tim and our here with.
All right, so I just muted everyone. Sorry if you did not get the memo. I am Chef Jessica. I'm one of the Scaffia tutors here. Chef Lindsay is also with me on board this evening. So she will be kind of manning the chat, answering questions you have in there. So if you have anything pressing or that you just think of, I know personally I lose it if I don't vomit it out. So if you are one of those people, throw it in the chat. She will try her best to answer. If she sees a lot of the same questions, she'll probably yell at me to stop. I will open it up for questions here and there too, because I know some of the stuff you guys have questions on. But I'll kind of just keep talking and rolling here, going through. Today we will be covering the Scaffia Dashboard and submitting your assignment. And the big thing there will be, we'll be doing it from our mobile today. So if you are just joining us or you didn't hear me say earlier, I have an Apple. I am so sorry if you're an Android lover. I'm using an Apple device to show you everything on. But yeah, I will just kind of walk you through it and we will get started.
Excuse me, Jessica.
Yeah, how's it going?
My name's Lena Foster, and I joined the Escoffier. But the only problem I have is I'm lost on submitting assignments.
Okay. Yeah, you are in the right place. And this is recorded too. So I will be posting it when we're done here. So if you need to go back or look at anything or you missed something, you'll be able to stop the video, rewind me, fast forward me wherever you need to for whatever areas you're struggling in today. So we'll get there and I will definitely show you, Lena, how to get that all submitted correctly, especially on a, especially on a Monday.
Because you guys, they already started the second week and I'm like,
That's okay, we'll be good. So you should be able to see my phone right now. I hope you can, because I can. So our Scaffia Dashboard, I'm going to click out. I was messing around with things, so I apologize. So, okay, so this is our Scaffia Dashboard. This is on our mobile. If you are doing this from your desktop or your laptop, I should have said that first. That was the first week. A lot of it's similar in nature though, so if you want to just hang tight and watch what we're doing, that'd be great too. But that one is in the archives as well. So on your dashboard, you have your courses, you have everything going on, and I should probably make sure I am in the right account. I am, okay. So for reference, this is not mine. This is Chef Rachel, the lead tutor. So if you see her name in here, that is why. So on our home, we have our dashboard. So that is on the top right where I just clicked where it says dashboard. If you click on the in progress drop down arrow at the very top here, you will see in progress, past. This will show you anything you've already completed. I don't honestly think you need to change it too much. I would say stick with the in progress because that's what you're currently working on, but just kind of good to know. And this should go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Everything we're doing here, whether it be on the Escoffier Dashboard, your Google Drive, Google Sheets, editing your assignment, anything you are doing this entire program, I encourage you to explore. Explore all the buttons. If you haven't touched them or you don't know what it does, figure it out. Touch it, go into it, click it. Worst case, absolutely worst case scenario, you would accidentally click something wrong and you can just hit the back button or the undo button. So I mean, that is how I've learned it. A lot of Google stuff, a lot of tech stuff myself is just clicking into it and just kind of learning what it means, learning what is going on there. So looking at it, again, see now I'm just clicking buttons now that I'm encouraging you. If you click on the course overview, these three buttons to the right here, those 3 buttons can filter out your courses. Honestly, you're not in that many at once. Maybe 2, maybe 3 max, depending on where you're at. But anyway, good to know stuff. So if you scroll down, you'll be able to find your class. We'll go into the CU 101. I know a lot of you are in that or in the pastry side, very similar situation in the class. A really cool thing to note where it says all sections up top with that drop down arrow, we can click that and this will allow us to jump around. So let's say we are in week 7. We are not, do not worry, but you can jump to week 7. You can jump to any of the weeks. So as you go throughout the program, throughout your course, you don't have to sit there and scroll for an hour to find the week you're on. You can just hit it and it'll bring you right there. Same thing, like I was kind of mentioning, you see the back button at the top left, that just takes you back to where you were at. So again, if you click into something and you click too far, just hit the back button. Some things to note, let's move to the bottom of our screen. I'm not going to be able to handle my group text going on, so I apologize in advance. Bottom of the screen, we have all these different areas in this gray. I am in the far left on that little home guy. If we go to that home guy, that's the page we're on. If you click into the calendar looking one, go figure, it's a calendar. So this will actually tell you, and I don't have anything because I am not actually enrolled. I apologize. I need to start that again. I kicked myself out of the Zoom call. All right, back to where we were. Sorry about that, everyone. So in your calendar, it did it again. All right. Give me 1 minute, Lena, and I will open it up for questions.
Okay.
No worries, though.
PG.
All right. So in this calendar view, you'll be able to see when your assignments are due, and you can actually add stuff too by hitting this red button, this red plus sign at the bottom. So if you want to, and honestly, this is a great time to tell you all, being a new student, being brand new in culinary school, in general in the school, back in college again, maybe, back in school for the first time in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, who knows? But welcome back. The biggest piece of advice I can say, especially with it being online, is do not procrastinate. I honestly, if I were you, the best thing you could do is make a schedule for your weeks. So you know when your live sessions are, you know you have to make your recipes, you know you have to grocery shop, you know you need to fill out your narratives or your production notes, you know you have to upload all this into your Google Drive now. You also know you have to submit that assignment, do that knowledge check, do some of your reading. In a nutshell, that is your week. You add in some discussion forums in there as well. On this calendar, you can plan out your week and you can make yourself more organized. And so you can know that you are going on. I'm gonna mute everyone. All right, so looking at it, you can just kind of set up your schedule, set up your calendar exactly the way you need to. So you can kind of schedule yourself in the Escoffier app and for your schoolwork, which is great. I honestly encourage you so much to do that, regardless of your work schedule, your kids, your other commitments, family, soccer games, who knows what you got going on, but I'm sure every one of you here has a lot, or else you would not be doing online school probably, which is the beauty of it. But you do have to plan out your days a little bit better and a little bit more. So looking at that, we can add on here, like let's say Wednesday, we can add an event and say grocery shopping. And just know you're going to go grocery shopping for your stuff for that week. And you can type everything you want. You can type in your grocery list here. You can type in what you need to read. Everything you can think of, you can do. You can do durations, you can repeat it each week because a lot of the weeks are very similar. So let's see, we need, I don't know what you're making next week, apples. I'm sure you don't need apples, but that's okay. Flour, you get the gist. You can do all this, duration. You can do how long it's gonna take. We're gonna plan 30 minutes. I don't know who's grocery shopping in 30 minutes, but that would be great. Repeat, and then you can hit save. And now you know you're gonna grocery shop. Well, that's a terrible time to grocery shop in my opinion. But anyway, the whole gist is you can basically do that. And then you see how it's blue here? That basically means you have something scheduled or something due. So I definitely, going forward throughout the program, just be organized with it, whether you want to use the electronic one or you like, I really like personally planners myself. So if you want to use a regular planner, a notebook, whatever makes sense to you, I would highly recommend doing it because this is one way to get it just kind of organized in your head. With a lot going on, a lot of different parts throughout the week, if you wait till like Sunday to grocery shop to make your assignment, right now, if that's you, which I've been that person, so like I know this from experience, you're scrambling and you don't have enough time and you're like, ah. So you see somebody wants upcoming events, settings. Is that what we're asking? The 3 dots in the top right corner? Interesting. Default notification. You can even set notifications. How fancy is that? So you can get reminders about what you're supposed to be doing and when. You can also filter them by what you're looking for, whether it's an event. I guess most of them you're going to be putting in. But anyway, calendar, super cool. The biggest thing, regardless if you use this one or not, is just try to organize your week. Don't save everything for the last 2 days. If you know you have to work a double on Saturday and Sunday night, don't save your schoolwork for then. I definitely, I cannot stress it enough, just planning it out. And even if you don't actually follow your schedule, at least you have it, at least you know where you're at and you can always look back and see where you should be at least. So that is, I'm gonna keep moving on. That is that calendar. If we go to this bottom middle, this is our messages. So you can message, well, myself and any of your fellow students, anybody in your class, your chef, any tutors. This is almost like a text messaging app in the Escoffier Dashboard. This is also on your desktop, laptop as well, but it's kind of fun from your phone. It feels like a text message. Notifications, I have none, but this is where like when you submit your assignment, when something is due, if somebody messages you, you might get a notification about it. Far right, this is where you kind of find your outline to your dashboard where you can log out, preferences, grades. You see the one at the very top? Huge. I don't know how many times I work with somebody and they have no idea where to find their grades. Big problem. You have to know your grade. You need to know where you're at in the class. Even if you're doing bad, you need to know that too, because you're going to need to know where you're going to need to improve. Or if you're doing amazing, you're going to want to know that. So grades, that is one area to get into it. Again, these are a bunch of things from Chef Rachel. But going back to the main dashboard, so if we click in, and I'm going to, for giggles, we'll go into the pastry side because I showed you the culinary side in the desktop version. So over in our PA 103 class, again, if you are in CU 101, it's the same concept, same thing, same outline, just you're doing different assignments, basically. So you got your syllabus here. So we're in our start here section. The biggest difference, in my opinion, is the sections that it kind of puts it in are harder to find. Only because, like, look at this little teeny tiny text where it says start here. The good news is if you keep scrolling, you'll find everything you need if you scroll enough. So start here. You got your syllabus, you got your textbooks, online tutoring. That's me and Chef Lindsay. So I'm going to click on it just because we love showing this to you. If you do not already know this, this is how you join the workshop you're currently in. This is where you'll find all the other workshops, all the other recordings. This is where you can book one-on-one sessions with us. So looking at it, that blue, I'm not going to click on it, but if you click into that blue schedule a tutoring session link right there, that is how you book a one-on-one. Now, when you book a one-on-one with us, it is always in your time zone, or I should say whatever time zone address we have. So if you moved and you didn't tell us, we might not know, but it is in your time zone, not ours. There's Chef Lindsay, all of us great tutors here. Here is our workshop schedule. I wonder if you can zoom. You can't, I tried. Teeny tiny. Oh, you can zoom if you hit the magnifying glass, but that is huge. So that's good to know. Anyway, that is the schedule. Here's all the live sessions to join. So if you miss an email, there's the one you're in right now. If you're looking for math help, writing help, costing, anything, all right in here. All of these are where the archives are. See what I mean though? The workshop archives is teeny tiny. That is my biggest beef with the app. And doing it from your phone is in the actual desktop version, it's like ginormous. Very significant header. Extra resources, we got some Quizlets, some games there. But that is about it when it comes to us. So back to our PA 103 class. Live session backgrounds. If you have not done that yet, I recommend it. It's really cool. You can basically download all these awesome backgrounds. Oh, shoot, hit the wrong button again. Bear with me. All right, here we go. Sorry, everyone. I cannot hit the top of my phone because it stops my screen sharing. So now that we are back, hitting the back button, not the back button. This is where you get your rubric. This is where all of your assignments will be. This is everything. The dashboard is everything. Your learn research materials, that is where your knowledge checks will be. I'm going to scroll this to week 2 because that's where we're at now. So you're reading your materials, everything going on here. That is where you would find it. And watching the videos, everything you're making, read, watch, everything is listed right in here for you. Going back through, all right, so we got our learn, we got our discussion live sessions, experience, assignments. This is where you will, one, I guess, find all your recipes if you do not see that already. But if we click into this top where it says week 02 mixing ingredients and their reactions, this is where we submit our assignment. And this is also where you find out what your assignment is. So this page is the main page for your assignment each week. Where it says show more at the very top, this will tell you exactly what you need for everything. So since I'm in PA 103 and we are looking at the pastry side, we got some crepes, we got some pancakes, we got some jam, chantilly cream. It's making me hungry. Anyway, so you have 4 things this week. If you were in pastry, each thing listed here basically tells you what pictures you need of each item you are making, along with your narrative and production sheet. So if you see where this narrative and production sheet is, and we click on that, that will take us to, log into the right one, and we make a copy. So when you make a copy, this will tell you to get the app for Sheets or Google Docs. Highly recommend it. Of course, it needs to update it. Okay, back to this. I'm going to go into PA or the CU 101 class because I No, it's easy and it's already set up. But anyway, same exact thing. You got your narrative and production sheet. You fill those out. You make sure everything is in your Google Drive. Since this already does have an assignment in here, I'm going to hit edit submission. But let me go back to CU 101 because I know that one's empty. And I'm going to scroll to our week 2. Sorry to jump ship on you all, but jumping into our week 2 of CU 101, Knife Skills and Palm Pure A. This is probably what it looks like for you. Sorry, I wanted to jump because this doesn't have one submitted already. So with this, again, the show more at the very top will show you exactly everything you need, your narrative reflection sheet, which again will take you to your Google Docs, and that is where you can edit, make a copy, submit it, save it, put it in that Google Drive folder that you all know and are starting to love. So I got to be honest with you, doing Google Sheets and Google Docs from your phone isn't ideal. You can do it, but it gets kind of confusing with, I don't know why that won't let me stay in share mode. I apologize. All right, so back to where we were at. Now that you know your assignment, you know every picture you need, you know your narratives, you have all of those filled out, you have everything in your Google Drive. I'm going to jump into my Google Drive. I'm going to jump into Escoffier, CU 101. The biggest thing to note here, if you do not already know this, when you basically are copying the link. So you were copying your link from your Google Drive. The big thing. So you put all your pictures, all your narratives, all your production notes, everything you want your chef to grade in that Google Drive folder in your week. Do not, I repeat, do not click into that week folder. I don't have anything in there, but if you click into that week folder and then you copy your link, you will be only submitting one picture or one narrative or one production note. You want to make sure when you are here, where it says week 2, you hit the 3 little dots to the right. This will show up. Now, you want to make sure if you don't already have it on link sharing on, or that others may view or viewer on there. So we'll hit copy link. Link is copied. Once you copy that link, you go back to your dashboard, back to that week we were in. You add your submission and you just paste it. You literally just, I'm going to hold my thumb down because I have it, like I said, I have an Apple, and we paste. The big thing to note here is that it says folder. So where it says drive.google.com/drive/folders, that folders or folder view is key in this. If it does not say folders and it just shows all these random numbers and letters, you are only submitting one picture or one assignment, and we do not want that. We want you to submit all of your work, all of your good hard work, and then you'll click save. And that basically updates your assignment. So you can still edit it, submit it for grading. Going back to that dashboard, this is where, again, I'm going to just show you real quick. That is what shows you everything that you need for your assignment, your mise en place, your self-identification photo looking all beautiful, your sanitation bucket, your strips, all of that stuff. This will tell you exactly what you need. Now, in order to find out how to make what you need, that would be under here where it says recipes and rubric. So if we click into Palm Puree recipes, and I just clicked into the access URL, this shows us, and I'm going to just kind of zoom because I'm on my phone, exactly what we are doing. So we will need potatoes, butter, heavy cream, some salt and pepper, and this tells us our instructions. So that, I'm going to go back to our, oh, cancel. Back to our Scaffia app. That is where we get the recipes. So they will be all listed right there. Our weekly rubric, this will explain everything your chef is grading you on. So zooming in, because you know it's teeny tiny. This is everything they're looking for: your narrative, sanitation, mise en place, self-ID and professionalism, production execution, and then it goes into detail everything that you need to do in order to get points. So looking at it, if you do this with your narrative, you'll get 15. This with your sanitation, you get 10. Now, if you get marked off points, this also will explain to you why and where you were at and why they might have only gave you a 9 instead of a 15 or 12 instead of 15. So this will show you everything there. And I am going to pause here for some questions. If I can, now I can't figure out how to stop sharing on my Zoom phone. All right, so what kind of questions are we having? Any repeats in the chat, Chef Lindsay?
Yeah, not so much repeats as much as I don't know the answer. So I will ask you.
Yeah, what's up?
So the kit that they received, the initial kit that they received, that is a one-time shipment, correct? And then from there on out, all the ingredients are their responsibility.
Correct, yes. And I should note, if you are struggling to get ingredients, whether it be due to cost, I guess if it is due to cost or just accessibility to food, work with your success coach. You have a success coach and they will help you kind of, in the same sense, help people get Chromebooks. They will help you get ingredients and get the things you need. And then also to note in the same thing, your specific chef instructor can help more with it. But if you can't find something specific, like I was just looking at potatoes and it said, I think russet potatoes, you don't have russet potatoes or you can't find them, you know, maybe get what you think is close, or you can reach out to your chef and ask them like, hey, I don't have any of this. What can I use instead? Or can I substitute Yukon Gold potatoes instead of russet? Because that's all I have. More than likely your chef will say yes. So, and because if you're like me and you're at the grocery store and you just don't want to go back, get what you think is best and just kind of communicate with your chef and let them know, hey, I didn't have any of this, I'm using this instead. And a lot of the stuff is interchangeable when it comes to that, if it's close. I hope that answered somebody's question.
The next one is, so there are sometimes optional items on the assignments. Do they need to complete production sheets for those optional items, or can they just not worry about that?
So that's an interesting question. And I'm curious, because I've not looked in the chat, what optional assignments are we talking? Because anything that is on that dashboard in your weekly assignments is not optional. It is definitely 100% part of the program, part of your course, and is due. So
I'll let them speak to that. I don't know.
So I was going to say, whoever asked, please feel free to unmute yourself. I would love to find out what's optional assignment. Peggy, was that you?
No, I didn't ask the question, but the chantilly cream and the jam was optional because of the lack of supplies in some areas.
Oh, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, and it is on there saying that it is optional, so.
Okay, that makes more sense. Texas had some issues if you're in Texas or around the South. So that is a new thing. I apologize. Usually they are not optional. Thank you for jumping in there, Peggy. Appreciate it. I would say if it's optional and you do it, fill out everything. Fill out that production note, pastry note, whatever have you, narrative. Do the assignment. If you do it well, do everything to it. And if you're not doing it because it is optional, then you won't need to do it because it's optional. I would highly recommend, I guess now that it's Monday, but if this continues, if you can get the ingredients and you can make it, I highly recommend it, because some of the stuff you make in culinary school, you might never make again. I know that sounds crazy to think about, but you might not. And if that's the case and you missed out on your one chance to make the jam, kind of stinks. I mean, back and make jam, but are you going to? Maybe not. So I really encourage you to make everything that they're asking you to, telling you to. A lot of it, even if you're terrible at it, is fun because you'll never do it again. And that's the beauty of culinary school is you get to explore some things that you would never make and that you would never try or have a desire to try. So granted, if it is because of ingredients and maybe you don't have power or you don't have a way to get to the store, then I guess don't do it. But that's interesting. I did not know that. I hope that's what they were talking about. Cool. Anything else? Any pressing questions right now?
I had one more from the chat, and then I'm done. But somebody wanted to know if they had a product sit overnight, and then I'm assuming they complete the assignment then the next day. Do they need to retake their ID and sanitation photos, or can they just use the ones from before?
No, I would say not. Should you have a sanitation bucket again? Yes. The answer is yes on that. Do you need to take a picture of it? No. They're just looking for that picture. They're just looking for your self-ID picture, whether you do it in 2 days, 3 days. Practice proper sanitation. No one wants to get sick, but no, you don't have to take the pictures again. Cool. Okay. Well, I guess anyone else have any questions before I jump back into clicking away at things?
I would just like this.
That was a terrible noise. Cheryl, you have your hand raised?
Yeah. Where's this video going to be stored?
Definitely. It will be on the Escoffier tutor page, which I will show you again just because it's fun.
I got it late. Sorry.
No, you're okay. I showed it, I think, at the beginning. But yeah, it is on our, actually, I'm just going to show you now while we're talking about it. It is on our tutor page on your Scaffia Dashboard. And so since I am doing this from phone, I'm jumping back to my phone. So we got our Scaffia Dashboard. We're in your class, whichever class you are in. If you go to your top, and I guess if you're on your desktop too, same principle applies. In your Start Here section, you will see online tutoring. If you click into that, that gets you to our tutoring page. This is how you book a session with us. This blue link here, one-on-one session. We love helping you. Please, please join us. This is our workshop. It's really tiny on the phone, but this is the schedule for workshops. Workshop details will show you all those Zoom links to join any of the Zoom calls that we're doing for the live sessions. If you want to join, always in Central Standard Time. And then if you keep scrolling, the workshop archives right here is where you would find this later. So if we click in New Student Success, Access URL, this just brings you to a spreadsheet. And so again, because I'm on my phone, this is the one we did last week. Tells you the date, tells you kind of what we covered, and then a YouTube link. And it's really just the YouTube video of the recording of the Zoom call. So these get posted pretty quickly. If they are not posted in there within, I would say, 12 hours to a day, there's a reason for it and we're not going to post it because it went completely terrible or something bad happened. So just to kind of warn you there, I did not realize that for a while. But yeah, that's where you find them. That's where you find anything that you need help-wise with us, extra resources there. Hope that answered your question. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna stop there.
Jessica?
Yeah, what's up, Lena?
I was gonna ask you a question.
Yeah, what's up?
If a person enrolls in culinary school, can they add another thing to it or no?
Like along with? Lena, were you asking like along with the culinary degree? Or
like say, you guys do culinary arts, but you also do pastries. I was wondering, can we do both instead of one?
Yeah, of course. Yes, always. Always, yes. You can always go to school for more, learn more, get more knowledge. And you can kind of always pair them together too. So we have like the diploma programs, and then we also have the associate's program, which just kind of build onto it to get your associate's degree and just further your education. So those are options. And there's even more options to go further.
I was going to do that, but I had to ask first.
Yeah, definitely. The good news about it is a lot of them build on top of each other. So doing a few of the programs that Escoffier offers, like you won't have to take costing twice. You already took it. So a lot of the stuff does overlap, and you'll just be more specific to what you're looking for. But yeah, that would be great.
Because I want to be able to do both.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
That's awesome. Well, and I personally, when I went to culinary school and I went to pastry school, I went for pastry originally. And then as I started learning some of the stuff, I decided that I wanted to, for like you, Lena, further my education with it. And I ended up going for dietary management and learning some of the dietary nutrition side of things. And that made me explore the culinary side more because I needed some of those classes for dietary. And it kind of just all wraps all together. And then you can get into like the management side of it and the restaurant side. You can get into you can get into like the personal chef side or catering. Definitely.
I've talked to you on the phone before.
You have. Yes. Yes, definitely. Glad to see you in a class.
Yeah.
Cheryl, did you have another question? Or is your hand just still up?
Yeah, I got another question.
Perfect.
I love nutrition.
Cool.
And I love what am I trying to say? Eating healthy for your health. Mm-hmm. So like this dietitian culinary, would that fit into what I'm thinking of doing?
Yes. Yeah.
How would that work?
It however you want it to. The possibilities are endless. And this goes with all culinary, not just the dietary side. Personally, like yourself, Cheryl, I like the dietary nutrition side of things. And so that kind of, makes us go into this really small niche of an area of stuff. But you can take whatever area you want of the culinary world and kind of go further with it, dive deeper, dive more into it. And there are so many niches that you can find to explore. It is mind-blowing. Like if you like dessert and you like pastry, cool, great. You can get so much more in depth with it. Like let's say you want to do sugar and like sugar art and blowing sugar. That's a thing. Like it blows my mind. So you can get so specific with it and go whichever area you want with it. I think the dietary nutrition side, you definitely need to know how food works and how to make food. You can have all these great ideas to eat healthy and do all that, but you got to be able to make it and make it taste good. So that's where the culinary principle comes in. But I guess, I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah, I mean, really the possibilities are endless. Do we have, I honestly covered a lot of what I wanted to on the Scaffia app, submitting that assignment. Do we have any questions about the app or submitting your assignment? Maybe. I will let it pause for a minute. Please feel free to throw it in the chat, unmute yourself. We can definitely open it up to any questions, whether it be, just how you're feeling with the culinary school in general, how your assignments went this week. If you have questions about, I see somebody's hand just raised. Doreen?
Okay, I do have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for the knowledge check, is there a book or anything that I need to get to read over that before I do my knowledge check, or how do I go by?
Yes, that is a great question. And I am going to show you again on my phone because that's where we're at this week. But same thing, it's in your Scaffia Dashboard. So go into it. Dashboard. So anyway, I'm going to scroll to the top. We're in our CU 101 class or PA 103 or whichever beginning class you are in. And yes, to answer your question, yes, there is definitely reading you'll need to do and things you'll need to do for those knowledge checks.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at this, and I'm going to just go to week 2 because that is where we were at. So our week 2, where it says learning outcomes.
Okay.
This is not your textbook, but this will just kind of give you some knowledge. Sorry, I don't know if that was my phone or not. But anyway, so we got some of this knowledge checks. I think it might be. Sorry, I was trying to see if it was me making that weird noise.
So that check is like compulsory. We do a check. We have to check that knowledge check, whatever things.
The knowledge check is like your test. It's kind of like sorry, I need a. No, it's right. Okay. Sorry, I'm losing my mind over here. I am going to show you my screen again. The knowledge check is basically like your test or your quiz to check your knowledge that you basically learned everything you need to. So looking in our week 2, research materials, if I click on that, you see where it says watch. This is where you will see your chef doing, actually it's probably not your chef, it's a recorded chef, but this is where you'll see what you're working on that week. So palm purees, if we click into this, it's just going to start playing. This is that video to show you exactly what you need to do for your week. So some of them, like the pastry one, you guys had like 4 things going on this week. You have a lot to watch. And then where it says read, professional cooking, chapter 13, potatoes, that is where that knowledge check comes in. So again, because I'm on my phone, just teeny tiny, but you can zoom in. You can turn it sideways. I never turn my phone sideways. Oh, that's so bizarre looking on a computer. Okay, I'm throwing myself off. But anyway, this is your textbook. This is how you get to that textbook. And this is where you find your textbook. So in your app, in your research materials, so scrolling down, let's see, week 1, where it says research materials, if we click into there, see how it says watch, read, watch. That basically tells you if it's a video or if you need to read it. And some of them, like this one, you have 2 different things you need to read. And one of them is chapter 2, one of them's in chapter 7, mise en place. Now with that, it's not so much, like there will be some, and I can't think of any specific weeks right now, that you'll have specific things that you need to read. Yeah, that's chapter 14. That isn't the whole chapter. It'll tell you like pages 104 to 108, because maybe that's exactly what they are wanting you to read for that knowledge check for what you're learning. So yeah, that is how your knowledge check is basically, I'll click into it. You get 3 attempts. It is a test. It is a quiz. This is basically to test to see if you attended the live sessions or if you read the book. Some questions come from both. I think a lot of it comes from the textbook and watching those videos. And I go back to week 2. But yes, you have 3 attempts. Use all 3 attempts. Unless you get 100%, you don't have to. But if you don't have 100%, use the attempts. They're there for a reason. It's almost silly not to use them at that point. I'm going to stop sharing. I hope that answered that question. I can't even remember who asked it. Did it answer your question wherever you went?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here. Thank you.
Yes, I'm like, which box are you on my screen?
Thank you.
Definitely. Anyone else have any other questions about it? Whether it's about submitting your assignment, the dashboard, or just your class in general. We have a couple minutes, and how do you say your name? Ari? Ari? Carrie?
I'm sorry, it was on mute.
That's okay. I'm like, I don't know if I said your name right, so I apologize.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yep.
Okay. Well, yeah, my question was, because at first I was having a hard time with getting to my dashboard and actually like understanding like how you guys were doing everything. But I did end up speaking to someone today. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to do my week 1, but they told me just to go ahead and do my week 2 because I had a delay in getting my laptop. So
okay. Yeah, jump into that. Basically what you're doing to submit it is just making sure you have that Google Drive link. Everything's in that folder in your Google Drive, and you're just copying and pasting that link into the dashboard.
Okay.
And making sure it's shareable. That is huge. Because if it's not shareable, they can't see it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, did that answer your question for the most part?
Yeah.
Definitely. And again, like I said at the beginning, if you missed it or, forgot already, click into everything. I mean, the best thing you can do when it comes to that dashboard and Google Drive and just all the Google stuff we use, whether it be Google Sheets, Google Presentation, Google Docs, click into stuff, click the buttons, mess with the buttons. And if you do it wrong and it's not what you wanted, you can just hit the back button or hit undo. There's not much that can't be undone when it comes to Google stuff. In the dashboard, there's always a back button. You can always edit your submission if you accidentally did the wrong link. But yeah, I mean, click on it all. Click anytime you see 3 dots, click on them. They mean something. Okay. The 3 dots are magic.
All
Cheryl,
right, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Cheryl, did you have another question?
Sorry, I didn't quite hear your comment. My kids came out and I had to mute myself really fast. But
that's okay.
They were like trying to teach them at home at the same time me learning this. It's crazy. And working, clean house. I think we're all going through this struggle right now. But,
yes.
Okay, so it's a dashboard. I'm always like, okay, I got my pictures. I got my Google Drive. Now, where do I put it? Like, I get it. The folder. What you guys can do also is send it to yourself and look at it. That's another key. You can just send it to yourself and see if it pulls up all that stuff, and it's like a test you can do.
Yeah.
But so it's under the dashboard at the bottom where you just submit it there. You just hit submit.
Kinda. So let me.
Can you show me that again? I'm like, yes. I get there and I get stumped.
Yeah, no, it's never a bad thing. All right, so I'm gonna jump back in here just briefly and show you. So looking at it, going into your Google Drive. So again, because I am on, well, that did not like what I was doing. Apparently, can't share my screen. All right, back there. I'm telling you, something about my phone just does not like when I touch that top red thing going on. But anyway, you go into your Google Drive, into your My Drive. So that would be your files. If you're on your app on your phone, bottom right corner, make sure you have a folder for your class, folder for each week. You put everything, all of your assignments into this folder. So looking at it, this is how we would upload your, I don't think you want to see my pictures. I don't know what I have on there. It's probably nothing bad. I just save a lot of recipes and close, so I can't even lie. But basically you upload your pictures here, and then looking at, I'm going to go into our Google Docs because I know we have a copy of our narrative. So if this is where you're at with your narrative, you can do this and you can move it. Share and export. Send a copy, make a copy. I think I just made a copy for like the 80th time in my Google Drive. But anyway, if you go back on your Google Drive, this is where you'll find all these copies I keep making of the same narrative. No, but seriously, and you basically make a copy. You can hit these 3 little dots. You can move this copy. You can rename this copy. If you click on move, my drive, Escoffier, CU 101, week 2, and then you'd hit move here. That just, and I'm going to show you, that just put that narrative in our week 2. So you basically put everything, all your narratives, reflection notes, production notes, everything goes in each week's folder, along with all of your pictures in that week.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, this is how I have my drive. I got my drive, Escoffier, culinary program. Then I hit culinary program and I got CU 101. Yeah. Excuse me, my kids.
No worries.
Week one, and I got carrots, fishy, and whatever. Yeah. And I hit that, and then I get into the next page is the folder for that week. So then it's the week, and we had to do 2 recipes and a narrative. So I just copy the whole link there, and I put that into I make it shareable. Everything underneath that thing is shareable.
Yes.
It's quiet. And then I just basically I've had to figure out how to make it shareable.
Yeah. So the best thing to do, sorry. And it's no, you're good. It sounds like you're already there. Is like here.
So I got week 2. I have week 2 already made somewhere. I have to go back somewhere.
So the best thing to do is like your Scaffia folder or your culinary arts folder you were talking about that you made. If you make that shareable, every folder you put into it will then be shareable and you never have to worry about it again. So I would recommend doing that.
Yeah, again, I think so. Yeah, Escoffier. I think everything's underneath there is shareable. Can I just check right now?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to finish kind of walking through for anyone else still hanging on here who wants to kind of run through again. But essentially, yes, you are totally right on track. Now what you'll want to do is basically you copy that entire week folder. So for your, like you were saying, your week 1, you have your carrots vice, your narratives, your carrot puree. You basically, if we were doing week 1, you look at your week 1, you hit either the 3 dots to the right, and then you hit copy link, which copies that entire link folder. And then you would jump back into your dashboard into, let's see, because that was week 1 I just copied. So you would go into your week 1 assignment where it says experience assignments, carrots vice, carrot puree. We click in there. And then where it says add submission, you just paste that link that we just copied from the drive. And then you hit save. And that's it. So anything you're submitting to your chef on the dashboard is a link to your Google Drive. Every single thing that you want your chef to grade needs to be in that Google Drive folder.
Yeah. Can you still hear me? I do this.
Hello.
Come on. My daughters. Okay, Laura, go.
Who is that?
Laura. Okay. Basically I do mine on the computer and more than my phone.